Good morning, and welcome to Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. It's early today. Welcome to Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Joel Ibanez, and I am your worship associate today. I'm joined by Wendy Karn, our intern minister, Jacob Swetlin, our director of music ministries, and Danielle Lewis, who is our Director of Religious Education for Children and Youth. We all welcome you this morning. Whether you've been here for 30 years, or 3, 10 months, or 10 minutes, and whether you've strolled, rolled, zoomed, ran, or danced in, we're glad to have you join us today. I want to extend a special welcome to visitors. If you're seeking a spiritual home, we hope that you will find it here. We are a community of many different identities and beliefs. We are bound together not by dogmas, creeds, or fears, but rather a covenant to create a welcoming, inclusive, and loving community. We need not think alike to love alike. In the spirit of building this community, let's recognize the many volunteers who have helped to put this service together today. Thank you so much. Roomers, we invite you to silence your cell phones if you can. Zoomers, we invite you to say hello in the chat. As we worship today, let us acknowledge that our church property rests on the sacred ancestral homelands of the Ahachiman and Tongva peoples, who seek justice and responsible stewardship. We begin our worship today with the lighting of the chalice. And this morning, I'd like to invite Phil Chipman to light the chalice. A retired Boeing engineer for the last 23 years, Phil has been a member with us for the last 7 years. He's very involved in doing choir and is our infamous bass player. You'll get a taste of that later. As he lights the chalice, let us go ahead and say in unison, say our unison affirmation together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another, this we affirm together. There you go.
Okay, please rise, embody our spirit, and let's sing our opening song, Morning Has Come. I'll wait till Phil passes me by. Okay.
Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The Lord of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. A new day dawns, once more the gift is given. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of peace here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Open your eyes to see that life abounds. Open hearts to welcome it
Our opening words today come from one of my favorite human beings, the lovely Adrienne Maree Brown, who is an activist, doula, and organizer working to make our whole world better. And I will start with some of her words. Perhaps humans' core function is love. Love leads us to observe in a much deeper way than any other emotion. If love were the central practice of a new generation of organizers and spiritual leaders, it would have a massive impact. If the goal was to increase the love rather than winning or dominating a constant opponent, I think we could actually imagine liberation from constant oppression. We would suddenly be seeing everything we do, everyone we meet, not through the tactical eyes of war, but through the eyes of love. We would see that there's no such thing as a blank canvas, an empty land, or a new idea, but everywhere there is a complex, ancient, fertile ground that is full of potential. We would understand that the strength of our movement is in the strength of our relationships. These could only be measured by their depth. Scaling up would mean going deeper, being more vulnerable, and more empathetic.
Peace, glorious peace, talking about a peace, glorious peace. Peace, glorious peace, talking about a peace, glorious peace. Let me tell you about brilliance in the moonlight, glorious peace, brighter than the dawn, like a whispering at midnight, that's been growing for so long. Glorious peace. There's a road we've been a-traveling for a many a lonely day, like a mighty moving army marching to a place far away, talking about a yearning and longing for sweet peace. Talk peace, about peace, my sister, sweet peace, glorious peace. Oh, you and me and nobody else except for you and me. All I am is all you need, and all you need is me. And the final page of history is written on a scroll, and the sum of every kindness is measured for each soul. Won't be no amount of money that brings you sweet release. Only but what was paid to my brother with sweet, glorious, glorious peace. Only but what was paid to my brother with sweet, glorious, glorious peace.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you. I would like to introduce Danielle Lewis, our Director of Religious Education, to come up and talk about our story today.
All right, I had the intentions of reading this story to you guys, but we had some shipping malfunctions, so sorry about that. But this is a really cute story just about how little things turn into great, amazing, big things. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Guys, welcome back to Read Aloud EDU. We are going to read the book Something. One small thing can make a difference. Just one small thing can make a big difference. When I know a friend is hurting, then my heart starts aching too. Like it's asking me a question. Is there something I can do? What do you think? Look, he sees his friend's sled broke. Is there something he can do? Look, yes, they're going together now. What you're feeling is compassion. It's God's whisper to your heart. Will you try to help this person? Can you find a way to start? I would say he had a great idea. If there's something that you notice, there is something you can do. Keep your kindness radar working. Maybe something starts with you. Look, this boy is feeding all of the wild animals bird food. Do I have to be a grown-up? I can't even drive a car. No, young or old, we all can help, whatever age we are. Even when you're young, one small thing can make a big difference. They're working together to wash that car. I can help an older person water plants or get the mail. Now she's being a helper. She's helping her neighbor water the plants and get the mail. I can carry out the items for my grandma's rummage sale. Look, he's helping carry out all the heavy items for his grandma. I can try to find forever homes for each abandoned pet. Look, they noticed that the animals need help. Adopt me. They're trying to find homes for the animals. Whoa, look at that. The wagon. That's a lot of animals. Or come up with a grand invention no one's thought of yet. Yes, your something could be anything that's helping anyone. A card, a coat, a come on in, a hand to get it done. Look, they're inviting a friend. They're saying, come on in. You're welcome here too. If there's something that you notice, there is something you can do. Keep your kindness radar working. Maybe something starts with you. Do I need a lot of money? Will I have to buy supplies? No, you can make a difference with your heart or hands or eyes. It looks like he's helping rake the leaves. And look, the birds are helping too. That'd be cool if that really happened, huh? I can help out at a food bank. That's a great way to help. Look, they're filling boxes for people in the community. I can plant 1,000 seeds. I can cultivate a garden where we all take what we need. Now they've made a community garden to share food with the community. Aw, if my friend is sick or lonely, I can help make chicken soup. Whoa, look at that big pot. I bet that's delicious. You can see the smell. I can welcome my new neighbors and include them in a group. Welcome. Sometimes the new neighbors can feel nervous. And if you notice that, one small thing can make them feel better. Jesus said to love each other in the way that I loved you. Be observant. Be a servant. Is there something you can do? There's something he could do. He's helping with the big umbrella. Let compassion be your compass. It will guide you through your days, show you how to help each other in the most amazing ways. Oh man, look at the wind. It's blowing all the mail. Look, they're stopping to help the mailman. They noticed he needed help. If there's something that you notice, there is something you can do. Keep your kindness radar working. Maybe something starts with you. One small thing can make a difference. Let's get started. I can't wait. All our somethings put together will add up to something great. A whole community of people helping one another. Isn't that great? Did you enjoy that story and all the fun pictures? Thank you for reading. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.
Okay, and if you can join us, we will sing our children out.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
Cultivating trust as an organizing strategy. Lessons from mycelium mushrooms. Mushrooms. Mycelium mushrooms have been one of my greatest teachers of trust. The word mycelium means more than one. The mycelium organism is a dynamic root system of mushrooms that utilizes trust as a mechanism to build and sustain a vast, reciprocal underground network that connects the roots of trees and plants and skillfully shares nutrients and reinforces to support the health of the entire ecosystem. This mycelium network cannot exist without trust. The mycelium communication highway recognizes and believes that the collective ability to channel and receive nutrients where needed, protect against parasites, and expand roots into the necessary sites of growth. The network also fosters intergenerational relationships that welcome a myriad of ancient wisdom and connections that reside in the older trees to benefit the younger trees. These mushrooms affirm a commitment to building relationships of trust. These mushrooms encourage all life to bloom, one I aspire to embody more and more in my organizing practices. It takes courage to bring our trust forward and invite a person to meet us there. This sometimes, sure, often shaky surrender is an opportunity to discover something deeper that confines us to our individual experience. A catalyst to grow beyond ourselves, to find places where love can exist even when we're unsure of the destination. To embrace a kind of faith that's brave enough to yield a wider focus that is often unseen with an individual lens. Cultivating trust is an organizing strategy. It illuminates the distinct potential to generate meaningful communication, yield collaboration grounded in sustenance, bolster collective commitment, and acknowledge the competence and worth. Trust intercepts blame and attack and invites care and compassion to take the lead. It takes time to ensure that the practices are aligned with values. In times of crisis, trust knows that you won't be intentionally hurt by your comrades. It relies on our imagination's harvest and initiates possibility filled with hope and inspiration. It encourages us to delegate and share, So our work imbalance dissolves and burnout fades. Trust invites us to come together for the sake of our collective liberation.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
As many of you know, I am in my last semester of school, of seminary at Meadville Lombard Theological School. I know, it's been long and it's been short, but I will be getting my Master's of Divinity degree in May. Thank you. So one thing that has happened to me during this time is I have read a lot of books. I have read a lot of books, more than I would have thought possible. Before I even started seminary, I practiced what I thought was reading a lot of books just to see if I could do it. I didn't practice hard enough, but I did do it. So anyway, I've been reflecting quite a bit lately on the books that have really, really moved me in power and kind of helped me define what ministry looks like to me and to us. And one of those books is called Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Maree Brown. And I have picked this up over and over again. And I first read it in a class for worship and liturgy, but it's also found my way into many leadership classes and conversations. It crosses into a lot of areas where important change is required and happening. So you might be wondering, what is Emergent Strategy about? Well, it's about a lot of things, but it's a bit like a handbook for learning new ways to trust our communities and ourselves and find ways to build a transformed world. Brown often uses nature as a teacher, and so do I. And she speaks about how small is all, how small things in nature mimic the larger picture. And I think that works with human too. So one of the key concepts, that small is all, it's in part how nature works. And although sometimes us humans have the audacity to think that we are separate from nature, I can assure you we are not. It's all part of the thing, right? Everything in the world is part of an interdependent process in ways that we have yet to figure out. There are so many mysterious things in this world. Maybe we should start small. When we focus on the phrase small is all, it encourages focusing on everyday actions and interactions rather than solely on large transformative goals that seem unattainable. We don't have to leave those goals alone, But as we do the work, I think it's important to remember that the ripple effect of our daily actions really do make an impact. Within the context of emergent strategy, the core purpose emphasizes the importance of building trust. That is part of what we can do when we're small: foster relationships and engage in meaningful interactions for positive change. This principle also highlights the important people in our lives and the building of relationships as seen. It makes us resilient. It makes us effective. So I'm wondering if you're curious why I started about this reading about mushrooms. So mushrooms are very small, and they are just contacting. Each mushroom is paying attention to what's going on in the dirt, and it's paying attention to its particular little root system. And no tree that we see anywhere, if you look outside, no tree exists without these little microorganisms, the mushrooms that talk to each other and go where the need is. So we're going to look at a few different aspects of that as we go forward. And I'll start with fertile ground. Fertile ground. Fertile ground. So one of the things that I have become a complete evangelist about since I have started this work, and oh my goodness, I wish I had done it sooner in my life, it is self-care. I believe that we should all be taking care of ourselves because it's important, right? So we will not be able to see the opportunities unless we're slowing down, paying attention. And this past spring, I started walking in my backyard, and these purple flowers came out of a crack in the sidewalk. It's in my backyard, and it started out looking kind of like a weed. And because I'm reading a lot of books, I just left it there. The one thing that I can say is my garden has kind of gone back to nature, and it's sort of cool. But anyway, this started out as a weed, and then one flower came up, and I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. And then it kind of peaked at around this moment, and I put this on my very rarely used Facebook offering, talking about being resilient and that there's beauty in the small things and the cracks in the sidewalk. And I'll be darned, after somebody who has not posted in a long, long time, I got a lot of likes on that picture. There is fertile ground everywhere. Nature is absolutely amazing. And it doesn't look like this right now. I assisted it by taking off the dead pieces and left it how it is. And it's looking, as spring comes up, that it might be ready to do this again. And the fascinating thing about this, there is no other plant like this in my neighborhood that I can find. How did it get there? How did it get there? It got there through a bird or the wind or rain or something. It's a mystery, but it's a beautiful mystery, and I'm happy to have it in my place. So I will tell you about something that I learned in another book that I read. This was Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. And this class that I took was about nature and American religion. So Dillard actually won the Pulitzer Prize in 1975 for this book when she was just 26 years old. She was inspired by Thoreau, one of our big inspirations, to spend some time in a cabin and just enjoy nature. And I have always felt like that was something that I wanted to do. But what I found is that small is all, and I don't need to go to Virginia for an entire year. I can just be in my neighborhood, in my own backyard, and enjoy flowers like these. So one thing that I found particularly interesting in her book was that bees do this amazing thing. So Dillard says, honeybees have their own honey for fuel, so they can overwinter as adults by buzzing together in a tiny, packed, living sphere. Oh my gosh, I think we live on one of those. Their shimmering activity heats the hive. They switch positions from time to time so that each bee gets its chance to be in the cozy middle and its turn to be on the cold outside. And like I said, I've become pretty committed to self-care, and I believe that none of us do our best work unless we get a chance to be in the cozy middle. So for just a few moments here, I would like you all to take a pause. We're going to take a deep breath. And I just want you to take just a few seconds to reflect on what it feels like to be in the cozy middle. And since nothing really exists alone, if you would indulge me and turning to one of your immediate neighbors, and maybe if you're comfortable, share what makes you feel like you're being taken care of. When was the last time someone did something really amazing, or even something very small, because small is all, something that made you feel cared for? So I'm going to give you just a couple minutes to speak to each other and share what makes you feel like you're in the cozy middle. I gave you all the grace there to talk for a few more seconds. Those of us who are on Zoom a lot, anybody on Zoom like a lot? Have you been in those small groups where you're having the best conversation ever, and then you see the second countdown and you have to talk real fast? I decided to give you guys a few seconds, so I hope you learned something about yourself in those moments, of what immediately came to mind for you, to what it feels like to be in the cozy middle, and also what it feels like for someone else. So anyway, we're going to keep that in mind, because what it sounded like to me from up here was that you guys were engaged in a murmuration. A murmuration. And I am going to show you something about how other species murmurate.
Right. Right, let's get to that island then.
I can see an animal.
Where?
I see three. I can see something flying low. I reckon it's like a coot or something. And two swans. Look up!
Oh, wow.
They're over there. Oh, look at those amazing shapes.
My, can you imagine being those two girls on a kayak and then all of a sudden that happens? Wow. Wow, nature is amazing, right? So, starling murmuration kind of sounds like a song. Starlings are small to medium-sized bird. They have very short tails and pointed heads and glossy black feathers. And there's hints of purple and green in there, and in large numbers, they create these murmurations. And experts aren't sure exactly how, but murmuration forms when one starling copies the behavior of its 7 neighbors. Note the closest 7 people around you and just think about that. You could be making that. Maybe. I don't know. But they're not exactly sure what it happens. But maybe the best comparison for this is the strangeness of a school of fish moving in the ocean one way or the other to avoid a predator or to appear larger than each one of those individual fish is to an oncoming predator. So starlings produce this synchronized cloud of movement over their chosen roosting site. And a roost is where they will rest as a group for the night, which is why these murmurations usually appear about sunset, because they got to find each other and figure out where they're going. So another hypothesis says that murmuration can be centered on body heat, and the starlings go to one central area, especially in the colder months, to create a warmer roosting spot. So when you think about this, they also might be doing it to find food together or keep each other safe. They're just little birds, and it's a big world. So though these birds will separate into small groups to feed, most swarm back together. And the name for this activity comes from the starling's wings when they make thousands of fluttering sounds together. So in communities where starlings gather, sometimes they are considered kind of a nuisance. These flocks can attract up to 100,000 birds. And, sometimes when we get together in large groups, we're also considered kind of a nuisance. But let's take that lesson from nature and move forward with that. This is how movements work for humans together too. We come from different parts of the country. Starlings are seen as the nuisance, but sometimes humans need to come together in large numbers to build that transformative world where everyone can thrive. But we also have each other. As Unitarian Universalists, we are committed to putting love in the center of everything that we do in the world. And I want you to know that right here, right now, in this space, and extending out to all of the congregations that have people like me, speaking to them right now, and people like you who are listening and trying to get out the daily business of getting back in your week, we have each other, and know that you are held by the love that holds the cosmos, the very same love. I encourage you to trust in our tradition. You deserve to take care of yourself, and then when you're all set, consider taking care of the person in front of you. And that's how we build justice, care, and compassion in this world. May it be so.
Well, please rise in body or spirit, and let's sing our returning song.
Got to do when the Spirit says do. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you've got to do, oh Lord. You've got to got to sing when the Spirit says sing. When the Spirit says sing, you've got to sing, oh Lord. You've got to sing when the Spirit says sing. 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 You've got to love when the Spirit says love. You've got to love when the Spirit says love. When the Spirit says love, you've got to love, oh Lord. You've got to love when the Spirit says love. 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 Spirit says love.
Spirit says love.
Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting, meaning that members and friends raise all funds for the operating budget, ministries, and programs of the church. We are ever grateful for your gifts of time, treasure, and talent. OCUUC amplifies that spirit of generosity by sharing half of the plate we receive with an organization that shares our values. This month, we're sharing with the Wetlands and Wildlife Care Center of Orange County. This organization does a number of wonderful things for the wildlife in this area. They're able to go ahead and annually they're able to rehab up to 600 hummingbirds each year. And they're able to do that because they're able to rehab 400 wildlife at a time. So it's really an amazing thing. And they do, like, have you seen the Dawn commercials where the birds are getting washed, right? They're able to go ahead and serve a lot of the oil-affected wildlife that are affected, and they're able to rehab those animals as well. So they do a lot of that type of work. There are multiple ways in which you can support the church and this organization. You can mail a check. You can go through the website or use an app called Vango Mobile. If you're a roomer here, we can go ahead and just simply use the basket as it's passed around. The choice is yours. All the information is on our website should you need it. And as always, thank you for your generosity.
One, two, three. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Oh, yeah. Imagine all the people living for today. Yeah. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, yeah, but I'm not the only one. I hope possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Be as one. Imagine all of the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, yeah, but I'm not the only one. Not the only one. I hope someday you join us, yeah, and the world will live as one.
Please join us in singing We Gather Together, a song that puts our intentions into words and expresses the many gratitudes for the gifts that we share. We gather together, we gather as one, for peace, love, and justice for everyone. We give from our hearts to show that we care. We can change lives with what we share.
Wow, that video was beautiful. Oh, wow, that was a gift. I wanted to say before we go into Joys and Sorrows that the Bolsa Chica wetlands, you can actually see all kinds of birds flying in formation right now. If you have the wherewithal to go there, it's not too far away. But right now I'm seeing lots of geese flying in V's, and I think they probably work in very similar ways. But that is my joy, and it is now a time when we honor the important events in our lives. You're invited, one and all, whether you're a member, a friend, or if it's your very first time. You're welcome to participate in our weekly ritual of joys and sorrows. Perhaps you come here holding something very heavy in your heart or something so joyous that it makes you want to dance. Maybe you did, in fact, dance in here today. If you would like to honor such a profound joy or sorrow or something in between, you're welcome to do that. And the ushers will be around with something that you can write on. And if you're a roomer, you are invited to come forward and light your candle. If you would like your joy or sorrow written, just again, fill that out. And hello, Zoomers. You are invited to write your joy or sorrow in the chat, and then I will share that for you, and Lori will light your candle for you. Once the roomers are done lighting candles, I'll read all the joys and sorrows. And today, Bertie will be reading a prayer for us. So thank you to both of you for that. And as the music is played, I invite you to silently offer healing and celebration as you feel called. Come on up if you would like to light a candle. Okay, Zoomers, you still have a little bit of time to get something in. We've got a couple people still writing, but I will get started with our first one from Donna M., who is sharing a joy. Donna says that she is so glad to be back with us after traveling for several weeks. And she says, "You are my cozy middle." And from Leanna, she is lighting a candle of hope. She is raising a 3-year-old and says, "Lord, be with me." Jolyn I has a candle of joy. She says her job with the Savannah Hills High School. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm adding words. Savannah High School. She was allowed to have her theater students to participate in the district theater showcase last night. The first time their school has been invited, they sang and danced to "You're the One That I Want" from Greece, and it was fabulous. Of course it was. And do we have anything else coming in? Okay. I will say that Valerie A. mentioned that something that makes her feel cared for is when someone makes her food or a cup of coffee. And wow, Zoomers, unless I am incorrect, I am not seeing anything on the chat. So I will just say, keep all people in your heart today, be someone's cozy middle. Oh, do we have one more? Oh. Did I miss one? I'm so sorry. Oh, Marilyn, it was the first one. This is important. This Sunday's beautiful flowers. Flowers and appreciate for my loving and thoughtful son, Clay, who turned 50 yesterday. Because I was only 60 at that time, or since she is only 60 now, she must have been a child bride. Keep everyone in your love and care this week, and I'm going to introduce Birdie, who is going to read our pastoral care poem today.
Jennifer Pratt Walter. Hug the prayer before it leaves your body. Float it along like murmuring leaves. Deepen the prayer to minnows, to starfish, and a wordless sea. Water it into the soil, gliding, gilding every earthworm and root. Your prayers are both journey and destination. Trust in your heart that they will find your name already alight. In the cosmos, the somewhereness of you, before speech or heart, before minnow or earthworm, before eyeless leaves. Even if there is no target or deity, may the words of your heart roll on like numbers, a living monument with no taste of an end. Hug your prayers close, then fling wide their cage.
And now, let us join together as we extinguish the flame of our chalice and say together, "We extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again." Yes. Whoa. Got that one. Thank you for joining us this morning. If you are a guest, a visitor, or someone who hasn't yet been known to us, I invite you to become a part of this beloved community. If you'd like to know more about our church, we invite you to either stop by the welcome table outside in the courtyard or contact us at hello@ocuuc.org. Yes, and we will help you get connected. Zoomers are welcome to stay after the chat with one another and chat online. And we do want everyone to feel a part of this beloved community. So please reach out and we will help you get connected.
We do. We have some very fun announcements today. So Roomers and Zoomers, I'm letting you know that March 14th is the Holi Festival in India, and the Malavia family, Prasan and Melanie, have offered to show us how much fun it is after church next Sunday, the 16th. Yes, this is the festival where people throw colored powders at each other. And this is something that is meaningful and fun. And so don't worry. Well, first, if you can, wear white. That's the traditional color. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that's what we're doing. Second, don't worry. The colors we'll be using will come out after a wash. And I have experienced this festival before, and I can assure you it does come out. Even if you think it won't, it will. And third, if you don't want to participate in that, if that sounds like no fun whatsoever, our courtyard is free space where no one will throw anything at you. But you are encouraged to have fun, even if you're just watching. Reverend Sean will tell you more about the Holi Festival that day. And the next thing is we need some virtual ushers. So if you are someone who attends church on Zoom, even occasionally, and would be interested in becoming a virtual usher, please contact Valerie or Reverend Sean. It's a pretty easy gig. Mostly requires you to be friendly and be part of the tech rehearsal on Sunday. We ask that you do it only once per month, so that's not a huge commitment. As you can see, each Sunday it takes so many people to run this service, and we are so very grateful for you all. And then just one other thing, we have a save the date for our service auction. It is a live auction. The theme is disco, and the name is We Are Family. I got all my sisters and me. Yeah. Anyway, so you're encouraged to dance and wear costumes and whatever. Yeah, so that's fun. And then we have our regular church events. If you are in the Build Your Own Theology class, that will be on Monday at 7 p.m. Tomorrow. It has alternating Mondays, but we're only on the second class. So if anyone else wants to join, please feel free to contact me. I'll be out front, and my email's real easy. It's wendy@ocuuc.org. But if you forget that, I'll be right outside. Anyway, I think that's all of our announcements today. So I think we're ready to move on to the benediction. And really, all I want to say today is take some moments this week to notice nature, to take care of yourself, and to take care of someone else, and just hold everything and everyone in compassion, because we all need it. Thank you.
Let's go out and all do our part. Let's go out, bring joy to each heart. Let's go out with the difference is joy. Let us go out with joy. Let's go out and all do our part. Let us go out, bring joy to each heart. Let us go out with the difference is joy. Let us go out with joy. Let us go out with joy. Let us go out with
Visitors, we promised you some bass from our chalice lighter, and there it is. This service is over, but let our service continue out in the world, and we'll see you next week.